Friends, hello! Welcome back! It's been a while since we played the old flashback sim game here in NHL 21, but we had to do it today because good friend, former Blue Jacket legend, Seth Jones was traded to the Chicago Blackhawks in exchange for Adam Boqvist and some draft picks. So we're going to go back, flash it back to the beginning of 2020, end of 2020 actually, 2020-2021 season here, where the actually, that's a lie. The season didn't start till January, did it? So flash to get back to the beginning of 2021. We'll get our calendar right sometime today. So we're going to bring it back to the start of the 2021 season and see if a guy like Seth Jones would have made a big impact on his Blackhawks team. Because this is a Blackhawks team who, mind you, was a really good team. Like, from an offensive standpoint, they got some young studs around here. Let's not forget about how well Kubalik played earlier this season. Do we put Patrick Kane on his second line? It feels dirty to do. We're going to put him on his first line. We're going to Taze on that second line. Such like that there. We're going to play this out and see how she goes. Duncan Keith, Seth Jones. Do we put that as the top D pair, or do you think Chicago would split that up? Keith Jones. I want to say if you're Chicago, you split that up. We're going to put Jones. We're going to put Keith on the second line. We're going to go Jones, Keith. Again, all hypothetical here. Goaltenders, obviously, not the greatest of overalls here, but here we go. We're going to jump into this season. Chicago Blackhawks looking to make some playoffs here. This is a team that typically, by the way, sims up really well in this game. But, man, we got to talk about this trade because we haven't yet. Come on, Seth Jones. Who wants to be different? Who wants to be different and not leave my Columbus Blue Jackets? Like, come on. Somebody out there has to want to travel down the road less traveled by, don't they? Somebody? Please? Somebody good? I mean, Cam Atkinson wanted to be a Blue Jacket, and, you know, there was like, see ya, Cam. But I don't know. How do you guys feel about that Cam Atkinson trade? I feel like you look at that Cam Atkinson trade and you say, he's, you know, a great player to have on a team. Always loved being in Columbus. Always a great guy. But I don't know. I guess he did have his year where he put up what? He put up 40 that year by himself. I'm trying to think. It seems like he's always had a solid playmaker with him when he's at his best. But he's still a good goal scorer on his own at the same time. But I feel like you look at that and say, you know, him and Laine weren't going to be, you know, two guys that could really play together. Just because that's just, you know, the type of players they are. Nothing against either one of them, just their play styles. But you look at a guy like Jacob Voracek and you throw him with Patrick Laine. I feel like Voracek, more of a playmaker, could really fit in there well with Patrick Kane if he can kind of, you know, bounce back to Voracek of a couple years ago. I mean, even Voracek now is not the worst of players, and he'd be a great addition to the team there. So that could end up being a good addition for the Blue Jackets. They took on some extra cap, but again, they don't really have cap issues when you consider everybody wants to leave in the first place. Seth Jones. And I think it's one of those plays, too. You're trying to do whatever you can to get the most out of Patrick Laine, because you want Laine to stay if you can. You got to try to retain players. The Blue Jackets have done an exceptional job in the trade market of years of late, but if you can't go out there and keep players, it's extremely hard for any team to be successful in this league, and that's what they got to try to figure out here. Nonetheless, the Blackhawks playing some really good hockey this season. 50-24, gonna make the playoffs, gonna play the Minnesota Wild in the first round here. Kirby Dack says, I'll take 3 points, please and thank you. Patrick Kane dropped 101 on the season, not bad. I think you like this new teammate. Seth Jones was feeding it. 58 goals? Holy smoke. All right then, Patrick. Sure. 19 by 49 for the Brinket. How did the one they called Seth Jones do? 8 by 42. He did have a lot of assists. He was the best defenseman on his team. Plus 46. Welcome to the Chicago Blackhawks, Seth Jones. If they can get a plus 46 out of Seth Jones next season, I think they'd be more than satisfied. And a Stanley Cup contender. You heard it here first. It's going to happen. 151 shots. All right. Looking good, Seth Jones. It's fine. Whatever. Did he lead the team in shots? Did I see that right? Seth Jones lead the team in shots? No, there's no way. I think I voted that wrong. Yeah. 304 to Patrick Kane. A guy scored 58 goals. Who do you think led the league or team in shots? Of course he did there. Goaltending wasn't too bad. 911, 907. You get the average there. Lankinen and Malcolm Subban over there for those Chicago Blackhawks. This team did win the division, didn't they? I'd assume. Yeah. Yeah, won the division. 108 points. Colorado, St. Louis going to duke it out and hopefully be our second round opponent here if the Minnesota Wild want to go out there and lie down for us. That'd be great. Edmonton playing some great hockey as well. Montreal, 102 points. Once again, going for that Stanley Cup push. New York, top of the division in the Metro as well here. Here we go, though. Let's jump into the playoffs. Minnesota, like I said, if you guys can sit down, that'd be fantastic. Seth Jones trying to win himself a Stanley Cup here. Game 2. What you guys got? Big fat L. Great to see. That's all right. Got game 3. Game 3 in the back. Game 4 in Minnesota. Tough place to play. Gonna drop this one. Series split 2 apiece. Gonna win game 5. Crucial game to win there. Just gotta take one of the final 2 here. And we're gonna go to game 7. Minnesota, tough team to play. As mentioned, game 7. No one in playoffs is an easy matchup. 1-0 early. Zach Parise and the boys. And all of a sudden, Minnesota is just getting carried by the great Zach Parise. There's a comeback goal there. Patrick Kane, he had 58 of them on a season. Gonna go out there and get 2 more for this team. Gotta kill off the penalty first. Seth Jones and the boys gonna take care of it. Duncan Keith's probably getting some big minutes in there as well. 10 minutes left. Chicago's gotta put one on the board here. They gotta do it pretty quickly or this one's gonna be over and over shortly. Chicago gone in the first round with Seth Jones. They tried. You got to applaud the effort, though. Seth Jones, clearly a big addition to this team, made the playoffs with him. And again, plus 46. But they got the playoffs. Things tightened up a little bit there. And Chicago just couldn't fight with the big boys. You got to be, if you're a Blackhawks fan, though, right? Happy with the result. Montreal getting his second chance at the Cup. They ain't going to mistake or mess it up this time. They're going to win that Stanley Cup. Let's see what Patrick Kane. He had to win the Richard, didn't he? Guy goes out there and drops 58 goals like it's not a big deal. Art Ross, Patrick Kane, Hart, Patrick Kane, James Norris going to Seth Jones, Lady Bing, Patrick Kane. This team took home all the hardware. Carey Price getting the Conn Smythe, the Vezina went to Bob. Florida would love to see that out of him. Mastodon Myers, O'Reilly getting the Selke, Ted Lindsay, Patrick Kane, and again the Richard going to Patrick Kane after that 58 goal season. That is going to wrap things up though for this video. Fellas, as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate you consider subscribing, liking the video. You never have to. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.